Hey guys, I'm really excited to show you this serger. The Acclaim is my go-to serger. It is the serger that I use almost daily. So I'm going to take you over to the Acclaim and I'm going to show you a few things that the Acclaim does, okay? I wish I had time to show you everything, but I'm going to show you my favorite things. So I'm going to start out right here, like what Brian said. This is RevolutionAir Threading, okay? And so on this machine, give me just a second here. There we go. So I can see what we're doing here. Okay. So RevolutionAir Threading means that it's air threaded. And I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes whenever I change the thread colors. The machine does 4-thread serging. It does 3-thread serging. It even does 2-thread serging. It also has this, you can see this pretty wide workspace. As sergers go, that's a pretty wide workspace. It's about, it's a few inches to the right of this needle. And then the one thing that our machine has that other machines do not have in any other brand, and that's the wave stitch. And so I'll show you an example of the wave stitch. I have this like in several different format or several different colors here. You can see this is the wave stitch. Let me get really close to this so that you can see what that looks like. So that's what it's really pretty. You can do it with different colors. And I've edged these ruffles with the wave stitch. So that's just kind of a fun stitch that we have on this machine. But I'm going to show you some more basic stitches. I'm going to show you one of the stitches that you're going to probably use every single day. This is a stitch that I use to make Christmas pajamas. It's a stitch that I use to make clothes, make handbags, make purses. But I'll tell you that the very reason that I got my first serger is because my daughter loved knit dresses. And I found that when I was sewing knit, when I would sew the seam, what would happen is that as soon as she stretched the fabric, the threads would break. And so I bought a serger. This is a very long time ago. And the serger that I bought did not have any of this wonderful RevolutionAir threading. And it was sort of hard to thread. But let me just show you what happens whenever you stitch on the serger and then stretch the knit fabric. Okay, so there's my 4-thread opening. And you can see that when you open it up, nice seam, right? But the cool thing is when your children stretch, when they stretch or when you stretch, whenever you're using, a swimsuit or gym clothes or a leotard or anything that stretches, you do not have to worry about the threads popping. Okay, so that is really why I bought my first serger. But then I found out all the other cool things that the serger does. So one of the things that the serger does that is really kind of fun, that is it does, you can do serger piecing, okay? So if you are a quilter and you like to get a perfect 1/4-inch seam, you can use this our lace applicator foot, and this will give you an absolutely perfect 1/4-inch seam. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm going to raise this. I'm going to change feet. It's very easy to change feet on this serger. All you have to do is push the button in the very back and then slide the foot over to your left. And the same thing happens when you're putting it on. You're going to slide it in from the left. And then you're going to lower your presser foot right on top of that foot, and there it is. So let me show you what this looks like whenever we do some 1/4-inch piecing. So I've got my little Christmas fabric over here, and I'm going to put my fabric right sides together, and I'm going to get my perfect 1/4-inch seam. And see what happens is when I guide it through here, right, you can see that it's going inside that, and that keeps my stitches straight. So I'm going to send it right all the way up to the needles. Let me get it close enough so that you can kind of see what that looks like. So I can start it right there, and then I'm going to stitch. And then I'm going to end up right there with a perfect 1/4-inch seam. okay? And so this stitch is about 1,000 stitches per minute, and you can imagine how quickly you can put together a quilt. Let's say I was just wanting to do a little 9 patch. I can do that again, do it really quickly on my 5.5 by 5.5 inch squares. And if I use this seam guide, I have exactly the same width to all my stitches, and I don't have to worry about my 9 patch looking longer. Okay, so there you go. Quick and easy piecing. All right. One of my very favorite things to do is ruffling. And I know you can ruffle on your sewing machine, but I really do like to ruffle on the serger because it's so fast. All you have to do in order to create a ruffle is you're going to increase your stitch length to the longest length. You're going to open up your stitch width to the widest width. We're going to change our presser foot from the, there we go, from the lace applicator to our ruffling foot. And you can see the ruffling foot has this sort of piece on the bottom. Well, the cool thing about the ruffling foot is that you can ruffle and attach your ruffle at exactly the same time. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So I'm going to raise my needles to their highest position, raise my presser foot, slide my foot in from the left, lower my presser foot, and then that foot is already attached. And then I'm going to grab my fabric. I'm going to grab a piece of, this will be the top, okay, of my fabric. And then this is going to be my ruffle. So I'm going to slide my upper fabric in here. I'll lower my presser foot just so that I can sort of secure it. And then I'm going to slide this underneath. All right, this is my underneath fabric. All righty, oops. My camera's in the way here, so let me see if I can slide that up. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to put that fabric back on top. And I'm going to change my differential feed all the way up to 2. So this is my differential feed. And if you forget that, it shows you right there. You see that little ruffle? And then down here, it shows you that if you move it to 0.6 on your differential feed, it stretches your fabric. Okay, so we're going to ruffle the fabric. All right, so here we go. See if we can get this close enough. All righty. You can see it's going to slide in there. Whoops, I forgot to put the differential feed up to 2. All right. It's only going to ruffle the part that I had the differential feed up on 2. So this will be a good experiment. You'll be able to see what it looks like. All right. Okay, so there you can see right there. There's my little ruffle already attached. And you can see right here, I didn't have my differential feed on there. So there's no ruffling there. But right here, where the differential feed was up to 2, can you see that? Let me lay this down. If you lay it flat, you might be able to see that a little bit better. Okay, nice little quick and easy ruffle. Imagine that on the bottom of a bed skirt or around the edge of a pillow or the bottom of a little girl's dress. Okay, quick and easy. Okay, so let me show you another technique that I really like. And this is one that if any of you have ever tried to pipe a pillowcase or you've tried to pipe any sort of pillow, you know that it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. However, with this serger, piping is really quick and really easy. So let me show you how quick and easy piping is. So we're going to take off that ruffling foot. And we're going to put on the cording foot, okay? And you can see it has like a divot, like a ditch right here at the bottom. And that's what our piping is going to fit into, okay? So I'm going to slide it in from the left, lower my presser foot, okay? And then I'm going to change a few of my, guidelines, okay? I'm going to change my stitch width to 5.5. Okay, there's my 5.5. I'm going to change my stitch length to about 3, between 3 and 2. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure that my differential feed is back down to N. So here's my N. I'm going to go back down to N. And then I'm going to make sure that I have thread in both of my needles and in my upper and lower looper. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold a piece of fabric in half. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me go right here. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to make like a hot dog bun. Okay? So here's my little hot dog bun. So I'm going to fold it. And then I'm going to slide my, sorry, I'm going to put that on 7.5 to, I'm going to slide my piping or my cord inside, okay? And then I'm going to slide it right under my foot. I raise my foot just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure it stays in that little hole, and then I'm going to stitch. And then I'm going to end up with some really nice piping. Okay, and there's your piping. Just done, done, and done. And then if you want to put that piping on a piece of fabric, let's say I wanted to put the piping on this piece of fabric right here. Okay, all I'm going to do is do the same thing. I'm going to slide this underneath. And I'm going to stitch it on. Okay, and if I want another piece of fabric on top of it so I can sort of hide that piping inside, that's what I would do. And I'll show you what that looks like on a finished piece. Okay, so quick and easy. So you can see now I have that piping. All right. Really quick. Now let me show you what that looks like whenever it's on like a finished bag. And you can see on this bag, I've got white. You see the white piping there? And that was done just like that. Really quick, really easy. And imagine what that looks like on a pillow. Okay? So there's another technique that I really like. And then I have another technique that's just really lovely. And that is our rolled hem. Okay, so we're going to change a few settings in order to get our rolled hem. This is a nice edge for napkins, for any kind of, any sort of decorative edge. But I really like to use it whenever I want a finished piece of fabric, something that looks really nice on the bottom. So in order to do that, I'm going to do a little change. I'm going to cut my first needle, so that's my my left needle, and I'm going to serge out that thread. Okay, I'm also going to cut the thread on my looper, and I'm going to in my upper looper, and I'm going to put some decorative thread in my upper looper, and I'll show you how easy it is to use decorative thread. So in order to stitch that out, all I have to do is just kind of hold on to the thread tail. I'll stitch out all that. Okay, so now I'm down to 2. I can take this thread off the machine, and then I can I can unscrew my needle. Let me raise it to the highest position. Let me get it so that you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to unscrew this needle. Okay. And I've got a cool little needle holder up there that's magnetic so that I don't lose my needle. And then I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take off this upper looper thread, and my upper looper thread is this one right here. Okay, and then I'm going to put a specialty thread on my upper looper. I'm going to put this lovely Madeira Decora, It's a 12 weight, Decora 12. And I'm going to put it right up here on this upper looper. Let me unwind it a little bit first. And then I'm going to show you how easy it is to thread. Okay, so I'm just going to go up through this antenna thread guide, raise my presser foot, slide it through that thread guide, and then I'm going to set my serger up for threading by popping down this lever and rolling my hand wheel until my tubes engage. I'm going to pull this down about to my thigh, and I always like to give this a little clip before I put it in. Then I'm going to slide this in. That's kind of crooked. Because I'm working with a really thick thread, I want to make sure that it's perfect before I put it in there. And you'll notice that I haven't changed any tensions. That's because we have this wonderful automatic thread delivery system. See how fast that went in? That was a 12-weight thread. Our automatic thread delivery system allows the machine to read our threads and read our fabric so that we never have to change any tensions. Okay, so now I'm going to put my regular foot back on. And then I'm going to change a few settings. Get most threads out of the way. Okay. Now, for my rolled hem, what I want to do is I want to put my stitch width on 3.5. So there's my stitch width at 3.5, okay? And then I'm going to put my stitch length on rolled 1, okay? So down here, I can see that it gives me a couple of choices. You see the knob for my stitch length? It has standard and it has rolled. Let's see if I've got that. I'm not sure that's... there we go. Okay, there we go. You can see all that mess down there. So there's standard and then there's rolled. And I'm going to put that over there on rolled 1. And that's all you have to do in order to create a rolled hem. Those are the only adjustments that you have to make. So I'm going to go up here, slide my fabric under my foot. Let it stitch. Oops, I forgot to put my stitch selector down on D, because that's the other thing I have to do for my rolled hem. I forgot to put my stitch selector on D. And you can see the difference. Do it when I don't. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's the rolled hem. Okay. Now I'll show you the difference though. See, this is without the stitch selector on D. So what that stitch selector does is it pulls that thread over so that it's rolled. This is when it's not rolled, and that's when it's actually rolled. So when you roll it, it makes a beautiful stitch on both sides of the fabric. Okay. So that's one of our decorative stitches, the rolled hem. Okay, the next thing that it's kind of fun to do, and that is using the lace applicator foot to allow us to use that same rolled hem and make a tuck out of it. Okay, so that makes just kind of an interesting design on a shirt or on a little girl's dress. So we're going to make a little tuck with our rolled hem. Okay, so we're going to just change a couple of settings. We're going to move our stitch selector over here to C, and then we're going to make sure that our length is on 2 rolled rather than the 1. So 2R rather than the 1. And then we're going to put our stitch width on 3. Okay, so we're going to make that a little bit more narrow. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to fold our fabric in half, and we're going to, ideally you're going to press it. I didn't actually press this, so I'm going to give a little finger press. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to slide it in here. Let me give you a little, there we go. I'm going to slide it in here, and then I'm going to give it a little stitching in. And there you've got a little rolled hem tuck. Open it up so that you can see it. Okay, you got you a little rolled hem tuck. Again, let me focus it. My camera's trying to come unfocused all the time on me. There we go. Okay, so there's your little rolled hem tuck. Just another decorative stitch that you can do on the machine. Now, the next thing we're going to do is something that I use very frequently, and that is our inserting a zipper using the cording foot again. So that cording foot gets a lot of use. Remember, we used that cording foot to make piping, and now we're getting ready to use that cording foot to put the zipper in. So let me show you how quick and easy. This is a way to make a very, very fast bag for a Christmas gift. And let me show you how quickly you can make that happen. All right, so I'm going to change to my cording foot. It's the P5 foot. Okay, and then I'm going to adjust some of my settings. I'm going to put my stitch selector back to B, and then I'm going to put my stitch width at M. There's my M. And then I'm going to put my stitch length at 2.5, not rolled. Remember, we were on rolled in order to do that rolled hem, but I'm going to move that over to my standard 2.5. All right. And I'm going to make sure that as I'm stitching this, I don't try to stitch it too quickly, okay? Because one thing that can happen if you're trying to put a zipper in, if you stitch it too quickly, sometimes it's easy to stitch over the zipper, okay? But all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the zipper down here so that you can see it. Lay my fabric down. Okay. Yes, this is FSU Seminoles. There we go. All right. And I'm going to lay the zipper side down. Okay, so the right side of the zipper is against the right side of the fabric. And you'll notice that my zipper is way longer than my fabric, and that's okay. That's what you want to do. You want to make your zipper longer than your fabric so that it doesn't get caught, so that metal part doesn't get caught in your machine, okay? And then I'm just going to lay this under here, and you can see that I've got my zipper teeth in that ridge, okay? And then I'm going to just stitch all the way across. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that my zipper is lined up with the side of my fabric. Okay. And then at the end, what oh no, I have my decorative fabric I forgot that I have my decorative thread in. I have a pink one. All right, there's a pink threaded zipper. Okay. All right, it's not going to show though. It's just going to be on the underneath side. So it'll be very pretty on the underneath side. All right. Then the next thing that I'm going to do, there are a couple of ways of doing this. All right. But I'm going to clip a couple of notches right here so that I know where I want my fabric, other side of my fabric to go. And then I'm going to unzip my zipper. And I'm going to lay the right side of my zipper down against the right side of my fabric again, matching those little notches. Okay, and then again, I'm going to raise my presser foot, and this time I'm going to put it in that channel, but I'm going to kind of put it a little bit to the left of the channel so that I don't run over my zipper. Okay. I can feel that. Whoops. There we go. Took it a minute to get started. This is the easiest zipper insertion in the world. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip my zipper up halfway. It looks very kind of funny. So I'm zipping my zipper up halfway. All right. And then all I'm going to do is stitch up the sides, matching my edges, stitch up those sides. Whoop. Okay, let me stitch up my other side. Go from the bottom. You can see I did not get that entirely even. That's an operator error there, not a machine error. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this right side out. Okay. Back up a little bit so that you can see it. And in 5 minutes, we have a zipper bag. Okay. I got some, can clip some of that. Let's clip that off. But that right there is the 10-minute gift. Okay. 10-minute zipper bag. Okay. One of my favorite things. Okay. All right, I don't know if there are any questions or not. I can't really tell. I can't really see if there are any questions. So
we don't have any questions, but did you get a chance to talk about the so this one has RevolutionAir threading, but there's also Extraordinaire and Jet Air. Do you know what the difference between those three are?
Yeah, so the RevolutionAir threading is what we have here in this needle. So let me show you how that works, okay? And that is something, I'm just going to unthread the whole thing because I want to rethread with a red. So I'm just going to switch thread colors here and I'll show you how quickly that happens. The RevolutionAir threader means that we have air that goes through our loopers, but more importantly, the RevolutionAir adds an air threading in our needle. So let's look and see how that works. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my machine to threading. So there's threading. And then I'm going to engage my tubes so you can watch them engage as I turn this. Let me see if you can get down there and you can see those tubes engage because it's kind of fun to see them pop. There, do you see those pop? So that is the where the air threading is going to go through. But the RevolutionAir happens right up here in the needle. So we're going to be able to air thread that needle. So here we go. I'm going to pull it down through here, around very quickly, easy. Okay. And then in order to thread the needle, I'm going to give it a little clip to make sure there are no fuzzies on the end. I'm going to lower the needle threader. I'm going to push to thread. It sucks it right in there. And now I have a threaded needle. Okay. And that's the RevolutionAir threading. I'll show you that one more time because it really is kind of fun. All right. So I'm going to lower this little lever. That's the threading lever. I'm going to push to thread. And then I'm going to pop it up and it just sucks the thread right through the needle. Okay. And that is our RevolutionAir threading. It doesn't get any easier than that. All right. And then I'll thread these other, I'll thread the others. Okay. All right, let me thread these so that you can see how easily these thread. I'll put my red thread on. Okay, so I'm going to just pop them on the, there we go. And then let me pull out the thread. Give me just a second so you can see that. All right, so I'm going to go right here. This is going to be my upper looper thread. Very easy. Always raise my presser foot. Okay. Then you can see the threading port right there. Put my upper looper thread in there. Whoop. And then I put my lower looper thread. Same thing. So fast, you can change over the thread in just a couple of minutes. Okay. Give it a little push. Look, got too much in there. All right, and you can see all my thread is out over here. Okay, and I can leave that alone. I don't really have to pull that out, but I managed to tangle my thread. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just going to close it, and I'm ready to stitch. Okay. So I'm going to take my cording foot off, and I'm going to show you just a couple of things, some examples of threading, what different thread can do just by using thread and just using your regular stitch. So let me show you this. This right here is this is piecing, okay, and you can see how pretty this piecing ends up being. And all that is, that's simply a 4-thread overlock, which is just a regular 4-thread stitch. And all I did is I put my 12 weight that y'all saw me use just a second ago, that 12 weight Madeira. Okay, so here's a Decora 12 weight, and it just goes in so easily. I have a 12 weight in my upper looper and a 12 weight in my lower looper, and then I just stitch a 4-thread overlock, and I'll show you what the 4-thread overlock looks like. Even if you're not using that Madeira, you can still get a really nice finish with your regular thread. I've finished several blankets like this. So let me, and what makes it so nice, what makes this machine so nice is that it's so easy. That RevolutionAir threading makes the threading so easy that you don't mind changing threads. Get my needle in here, okay? And I'm just going to show that RevolutionAir threading one more time because I want to add a 4th thread over here. All right. Feel free to ask any questions, Brian, if there's anything else you'd like to see.
We're not getting too many questions, and I think that just is a testament to how good of an educator you are. Because
you're very kind, Brian.
You're welcome. But I do want to let you know we have about 2 more minutes left. Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me quick thread this, and there's my RevolutionAir threading. All right, we're going to watch it happen one more time. Okay, now I'm ready to go. And I'm just, all I want to do right now is just show you, if you can make your stitches go really close together, and you end up with a really nice edge finish to anything. It can be a fabric or whatever. So let me just show you what this looks like. So you see, just by playing with your stitch width, okay, let me get this down here so you can see it a little bit better in the light. Okay, see, all I've done is I've made my stitches closer together, And you can edge finish really a really beautiful blanket using that particular stitch. Okay. And that's just simple. That's just a simple 4-thread overlock. All right.
I love that last technique because it means no binding.
It's exactly right. It's a great way to bind your fabric. So yeah, so that I love this. This is my. I could do this all night long. I love this machine. There are so many things that we can do with it. So thank you for letting me show these things.
You're welcome. Thank you, Milinda, for coming and joining us.
You can be loser, set me free.